Welcome back, dear Dark Copers. We have all watched the Insidious saga, or at least one movie from the Insidious saga, and we've seen plenty of terrifying spirits and haunted houses. Now the question is, do you remember the man with the fire in his face, aka the lipstick demon, aka Sixtass? Well, how can you forget, considering he's made an appearance in every single Insidious movie to date, including the two where he's the main antagonist? Random fun fact. Did you know that the demon is actually played by the film's own composer and musician, Joseph Bishara? The Insidious franchise, written by Leigh Whannel, began in 2010 with the Lambert family and their fight against the scary red-faced demon. And the last Insidious movie, Insidious: The Red Door, came out in 2023. Featuring, you know it, the Lambert family and their fight against the scary red demon. Now, although we've seen so much about this demon, what do we really know about him? I mean, where did he come from? And why exactly is he obsessed with Dalton? So, are you ready to dive into the further and face the Sixtass Demon with us once again? But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Origins of the man with the fire in his face. The lipstick-faced demon is one of the most iconic and terrifying demons in the Insidious universe. We remember him, especially for his jarring red and black face, sharp claws, and silent malice. But this demon isn't just another ghostly figure lurking in the shadows. Well, he does that too, but he's a terrifying entity with an insatiable hunger for control and power. Fans compare the red-faced demon with the demon Oni in Chinese mythology and the demon Tengu from Japanese lore. But what makes this demon frightening, apart from his looks, is the way he preys on his victims, especially children, in his twisted lair within the Further. The lipstick demon plays a pivotal role in the franchise, weaving through the mysteries of the Further and haunting the Lambert family. But where exactly did he start? The lipstick-faced demon's first appearance in Insidious was like a horror movie roller coaster that starts off slow and ends up with an intense drop. It all begins when Renee Dalton's mother finds supernatural activity happening around her family and house. Being the smart woman she was, she packed up everyone's bags and decided to leave the house. But the horrors she wished to leave weren't ready to let her family go that easily, especially the lipstick demon. He's after Dalton, the Lambert family's son, and he's not shy about making his intentions known. The demon kept showing up in truly terrifying moments. He appeared behind Josh, Dalton's dad, and he appeared to Lorraine, Josh's mom, in a dream. You must remember the scene. It was practically plastered on every poster and trailer, and probably the scariest picture of this demon. From then on, it was like the demon toyed with them. He completely trashed Dalton's place and kept him captive in his creepy lair known as the Further. Eventually, Josh ventures into the Further and saves Dalton, and they make a daring escape. But the demon is far from finished. He temporarily loses his grip and vanishes, but we know he's not gone for good. He makes his presence known again in Insidious Chapter 2. At the end of the movie, after the tragic death of Elise, Specs and Tucker go to the house of Allison, a girl who's stuck in an inexplicable coma. The movie concludes with the fear-stricken face of Elise's spirit, as she sees an unseen spirit behind Allison, and we can hear that infamous creaking sound. This ominous noise is enough to make your blood run cold. It's implied that the lipstick demon is back, and he somehow escaped the clutches of the Further. Honestly, he's like the worst guest at a party, always lingering in the background, waiting for the right moment to strike. Things take an even creepier turn in Insidious Chapter 3, a prequel to the original film. At the very end of this movie, Elise returns home after a nerve-wracking investigation. As she enters her house, her dog starts barking at something through an open door. Elise stares at the door, and that's when we see it. The lipstick-faced demon, standing right behind her, just waiting to cause more havoc. It's a chilling moment that sets the stage for his reappearance in future films. In Insidious 4, The Last Key, the lipstick demon makes an unexpected appearance in a dream sequence. Man, he's crazy obsessed with his child Dalton. Elise, now investigating a case in New Mexico, dreams about the Lambert family home. In this dream, she could see Dalton in his room, and there he was again, the lipstick demon, watching through the window like some nightmarish voyeur. Fast forward to Insidious: The Red Door, the last one in the saga. We have a whole movie dedicated to the return of this demon to torment, you guessed it, Dalton. This time, it's been 9 years since the original events. Talk about obsession. Dalton, now a young adult, is in art school, minding his own business, when bam, the demon's hand grabs him and leaves a huge gash on his palm. Well, technically, he invited the demon in when he drew the picture of the red door that's used to enter the further and started the astral projection again. That was just the beginning, though. The demon slowly begins to possess Dalton, aiming to unleash chaos once more. The tension builds as Josh and Dalton try to trap the demon back in the further. In an intense and emotional showdown, Josh and Dalton work together to slam the door to the demon's lair shut, trapping him once and for all. Or so they think. As Dalton paints the door black in the real world, the demon's prison is seemingly sealed. It ends with the light flickering back on behind the sealed door, implying that he might return again. Unveiling the demon, appearances and features. In the world of horror movies, certain villains make an impression that's so chilling that they carve out a permanent place in the nightmares of fans everywhere. The lipstick-faced demon is definitely one of them. Known for his dramatic look and sinister aura, this demon is a truly twisted creation that combines classic horror with a dash of nightmare-inducing flair. The lipstick-faced demon stands tall and imposing, with a muscular build that immediately commands attention and dread. His skin is a deep, shadowy black, a stark contrast against his striking face, which is painted in bold swathes of red. Oh, and that's also where the lipstick part of his name comes from. You might think it's lipstick just because it looks like it, but there's no glamour here. The red around his lips and eyes is definitely not like the kind you'll find at a makeup counter. Let me assure you of that much. This paint looks smeared and haphazard, as if it's been applied in a fit of fury, intensifying his already menacing features. This look kind of gives him a raw, almost animalistic appearance, like he's not human at all, more like a demon taking on a face that's half painted and half stained with blood. Coarse fur runs down his legs, adding an animalistic quality to his physique, and instead of human feet, he has dark, powerful cloven hooves that make him look like he's stepped straight out of some fiery underworld. Adding to this otherworldly appearance, the demon has a long whip-like tail that curls and flicks behind him, seeming almost alive with energy. And of course, what's a good demon without some terrifying claws? His hands are crowned with long, spidery claws that extend from his fingers, giving him the ability to reach, grab, and ensnare his victims with ease. His impossibly long razor-shaped talons practically drag on the floor, and these claws aren't just for show either. They are his primary weapon, designed for snatching souls or dragging unfortunate victims into his domain. They look ancient, like they've been through countless battles, and are only getting sharper with time. To make matters worse, he's constantly sharpening them too. But perhaps most unsettling of all are his eyes. It's no surprise that these eyes are one of the main things fans remember. Those eyes don't just see, they seem to hunt. There's a feral glint that gives you the impression he's always 2 steps ahead, always watching, always waiting for the moment to pounce. Large, unnaturally bright and yellow gold, they burn with a fierce intensity that conveys both intelligence and malice. Each eye has a dark pinpoint pupil that gives his gaze a predator-like focus, making it impossible for anyone to look away when those eyes lock onto them. The eyes are also shockingly expressive for a demon, capable of conveying emotions like rage, glee, and hunger. What ties it all together is that creepy grin of his, with crooked yet dangerously sharp teeth, yellowed with age. When he stares at you, it's impossible not to feel a primal fear kick in, and that's exactly what he wants. What really sets the lipstick demon apart, though, is his movement, which I think is the creepiest of them all. He doesn't run after his victims, but rather he lurks, hangs back in the shadows, and stares with that wicked grin and eerie eyes. This sense of lurking makes him feel even scarier. You know he's there, but you never know what he'll do next. And that unpredictability is spine-chilling. Whether he's crawling on the ceiling or appearing right behind you, he knows how to make an entrance. His physicality and the way he carries himself are calculated to unnerve. It's like he's toying with his prey, savoring their fear before he finally strikes. It's not just his appearance that makes the lipstick demon so terrifying, it's also the sound design that accompanies him. Whenever the lipstick-faced demon is near, a chilling crackling sound fills the air, like a faint fire burning somewhere just out of sight. This unsettling noise serves as a dark prelude to his arrival, warning those nearby that something malevolent is lurking. It's a signature sound that feels like a build-up to terror, heightening the dread that pulses through anyone unfortunate enough to hear it. His presence isn't just seen, it's felt, a sensory experience that includes every crackling whisper and every terrifying claw. It's impossible not to feel a primal fear kick in, and that's exactly what he wants. The lipstick demon's personality. If there's one thing that defines the lipstick demon, it's his absolute no-nonsense determination. He's got a single goal: to claim the soul of a child, and he will stop at nothing to get what he wants. In the first Insidious film, he's fixated on Dalton Lambert, a young boy with a rare ability to astral project, which leads him straight into the Further, the demonic playground of the lipstick demon. Once the demon realizes he has Dalton's spirit in his grasp, he holds on to him with a vice-like grip, refusing to let him go. The lipstick demon is willing to do whatever it takes to keep Dalton close, demonstrating a relentless drive that borders on obsession. This isn't a villain who hesitates or feels pity. He's ruthlessly single-minded, and there's a dark satisfaction in every move he makes, every scare he delivers. Unlike many horror villains who are content to just haunt their victims, the lipstick demon fully commits to his mission, displaying a tenacity that makes him scarier than your average ghost or monster. He's crafty and takes a twisted pleasure in physically and psychologically tormenting his victims. Dalton, trapped in the demon's lair, is chained to the door, alone, in what can only be described as a theater of horrors. The demon takes this isolation and makes it even worse by inflicting pain on Dalton whenever he makes the slightest noise. The lipstick demon could have just locked Dalton away, but no, he wants Dalton to suffer. This is a creature who enjoys having power over others. The lipstick-faced demon never actually speaks in Insidious, but he's far from silent. In fact, he has a voice chilling enough to linger in your mind. Lorraine mentions that, in a dream, she spoke with the demon, and it answered her in actual words. When she asked who it was, it cryptically replied that it was a visitor. And when she dared to ask what it wanted, it would give an answer straight out of a nightmare. It wanted Dalton. The fact that Lorraine says she can still hear its voice leaves us wondering just how terrifying that voice must be. In a way, the lipstick demon treats Dalton almost like a toy, something he can manipulate and control. His lair is filled with marionettes, and he seems to treat everything around him like a puppet, including Dalton himself. This love of control and torment reveals a truly twisted nature. This demon isn't just evil, he's creatively cruel. He doesn't simply capture his prey, he drags out the experience, savoring every moment of their fear. And now for my personal favorite, the lipstick demon's most bizarre quirk, his unexpected love for Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Yes, this creepy creature actually has a taste in music. In one of his scenes, he's listening to this oddly upbeat tune while sharpening his claws, looking disturbingly relaxed. And that's not all. Earlier in the movie, a ghostly boy in the Further is dancing to this same song. We never find out why this song in particular holds such an eerie sway over the Further residents, but maybe it represents the demon's ability to control objects in the real world, like Lambert's record player. The lipstick demon's personality also reveals an unsettling intelligence. He's not a mindless creature that roams around aimlessly. He plans, he waits, and he knows exactly what he's doing. In the Further, he's clearly in control of his domain, manipulating the shadows and bending the environment to his will. Every move he makes feels calculated, designed to elicit maximum fear and despair. The Lipstick Demon, powers explored. It's no mistake that the Lipstick Demon is considered to be one of the, if not the most, powerful spirits in the Insidious universe. He has plenty of supernatural powers, so none of the other spirits or humans stand a chance against him. I mean, he doesn't just haunt the Lambert family, he actively terrorizes them with a collection of dark abilities that seem only to grow stronger the longer he's on the prowl. First things first, The Lipstick Demon is one of the rulers of the Further, and while humans might wander in accidentally, the Lipstick Demon can move around this realm freely and manipulate it to his liking. One of the demon's most frightening powers is his ability to latch onto and attempt to possess souls. His favorite was Dalton, who he had his eyes on for years on end. The demon's main goal was to take over Dalton's physical body back in the real world to cause chaos in our realm. But what's particularly creepy is that he isn't just possessing Dalton on a whim. No, he's waiting, biding his time, and using his power to weaken Dalton's spirit, preparing him for a full-blown possession. He's got telekinesis down to an art. With just a wave of his hand or a ferocious roar, he can send people flying or trip them from a distance. If he gets his claws on a physical body, even for a moment, watch out. He has superhuman strength, and he's not afraid to use it. He has the power to drag, hurt, and imprison those he wants to torment. He can slam his vessel's hand on a table and send everyone around it reeling, or throw grown men like they're weightless. He has heightened senses, allowing him to detect astral wanderers like Dalton and pinpoint their weaknesses. It's not just his ability to sense that makes him powerful. It's also his stealth. He appears when his victim least expects it, with no warning except that eerie crackling sound that often precedes his arrival. The Lipstick Demon's powers aren't limited to the Further. He can reach out and affect objects in the physical world, even if it's just in small ways. He can effortlessly travel between the Further and the living world whenever he feels like it. One of his key skills is astral trapping. Well, you saw what he did to Dalton's astral form. The red-faced demon is practically a master of disguise, blending into the shadows so well that he's practically invisible. One of his other creepy tactics includes wall clinging. He clung to the wall above Dalton's bed while he was in a coma, and even chased Josh and Dalton across ceilings and walls in the Further. Whether he's scurrying up a wall or crawling along the ceiling, he's got an unnerving way of making every surface his playground. Psychological resonance and fear factor. When it comes to horror, it's not just the jump scares or creepy visuals that get under your skin, it's the psychological terror. And that's exactly what the Lipstick-Faced Demon brings to the table in spades. Sure, he's got the look, but what truly makes him one of the scariest antagonists is the way he messes with your mind long after the movie ends. Unlike traditional ghosts or spirits, this demon feels like he's not just haunting a house, but the very fabric of your reality. There's a sense of him being everywhere and nowhere all at once. He lurks in the shadows, sure, but his influence goes beyond what we can see. He could be behind you, beneath you, or lurking just around the corner, keeping you on edge at all times. That sense of not knowing where he is, but always feeling his presence, that's the stuff of nightmares. While the Lipstick-Faced Demon is certainly capable of physical terror, hello those darn claws, his true power lies in his psychological manipulation. He's not just after Dalton's soul, he's after breaking him down mentally. Think about it. Dalton is chained to the floor in a place that's both familiar and utterly alien, trapped in an environment where everything is distorted and twisted. The Further was like a nightmarish funhouse, where reality is warped just enough to make you feel both hopeless and helpless. The demon's presence creates a constant state of fear, and it's not just about the fear of being hurt, but about the fear of being trapped in a place that you have no control over, no way out, and no one to hear your screams. That loss of control is terrifying because it taps into one of our deepest fears, the fear of being powerless. Now that all that's been said, I must say, unpopular opinion, I don't want him back. Insidious was definitely one of my favorite horror movies, but I think the Lipstick Demon definitely overstayed his welcome. I think they may have oversaturated its audience by showing a bit too much too soon. When they first introduced the demon, with its creepy red face and the crackling noise, it was creepy, but then they overdid it. Some fans even compare the demon's face to that of Darth Maul from Star Wars. We've seen it, we appreciate it, and now we need more. Marvelous verdict. The man with the fire in his face, a terrifying entity from the Insidious franchise, remains one of the most chilling figures in the series. His eerie presence, grotesque fire-like appearance, and sinister intentions toward the Lambert family all make him an unforgettable antagonist. His role in chasing after Dalton's soul and his eerie connection to the dark forces that haunt the Lambert family only deepen the mystery that surrounds the Insidious saga. He's kind of like the Satan of the Insidious universe, and a reminder that the true horrors are never fully explained, keeping us on edge with every new appearance. Whether he's sharpening his claws, lurking in the shadows, or listening to Tiny Tim, the lipstick-faced demon knows how to leave a lasting impression, that's for sure. So what do you think? Was this really the end? Or do you think he'll return again? Do you want him to return again? Let us know in the comments below. Happy haunting! And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.